Hi students, this is Kranti Kumar Pilipati. Thank you for opting BPC in your career. You have very good opportunities in BPC. In first year BPC, the first chapter, that is diversity of living world. In this, we'll discuss animal diversity in the world. Okay, now I will enter into our topic. What is life? So, life is an exclusive property of the various types of living organisms in the world. So, life is its exclusive property. It is a one and only property. It is special for the living organisms in the world. And here, in this, biology. You have already studied in 10th class. What is biology? Biology is the study of living organisms. Various types of living organisms are there. So in that, bio means life, and logia means study. These two words are derived from Greek language. And next, living organisms are classified into microorganisms and plants, and finally animals. So here three types of living organisms are there: microorganisms, plants, and animals. So here, living organisms, why we call living organisms? Based on some properties, living organisms are showing, these are the properties. The 9 properties are showing by the living organism. That's why we call living organism. So we know difference between the living organisms and non-living organisms. So here, the living organisms showing these properties, 9 properties, we will discuss one by one. The first one is a cellular organization and highly ordered structure, complexity of organisms, sensitivity or response to environment. Fourth one is growth. Fifth one is energy utilization or metabolism. Sixth one is reproduction, and seventh one is homeostasis, and the eighth one is evolution, and ninth is the senescence or mortality. We will discuss one by one. First one is cellular organization and highly ordered structure. An organism body is made up of with cells, which are the structural and functional units of the body. You know very well, organisms are made up of with cells. Cell is the basic unit of the organism. Here, cell is also called structural and functional unit of the organism. Okay, so two types of cells. One is prokaryotic cells, another one is eukaryotic cells. So what is prokaryotic cell? Prokaryotic cell means it is not having a distinct nucleus. Here, without distinct nuclei, these cells we call as prokaryotic cells. And a distinct nuclei. Distinct nuclei, what is the distinct nuclei? Distinct nuclei means nuclear membrane. If nuclear membrane is present, that is called distinct nucleus. So without distinct nuclei, with means without nuclear membrane, that is a prokaryotic cell. And here, with distinct nuclei means with nuclear membrane, that is called eukaryotic cell. That is about the cellular organization and highly ordered structure. So with the presence of cells only, the organism is made up of. That's why this is a one living organism property. And second one is complexity of organisms. So organisms are we can see simple level to complex level. So cellular level to organism level. Here you can see hierarchical organization such as cellular level, tissue level, and organ level, and organ system level. So for example, you see like poriferans, sponges. In the sponges, you may see only cells, not the tissue. Only cells are aggregated. That's why that is the sponge. And in tissues, you may see a group of cells. A group of cells, those called as that called as tissue. And next, In the higher organisms, like organ level of organization is there, like platyhelminthes and nematohelminthes. In that organ level of organization is there, and above the levels, like in higher levels like chordates, in that organ system level of organization is there. So here you see cellular level of organization, tissue level of organization, organ level of organization, and organ system level of organization. This is the complexity of organisms. So from lower level of organisms to higher level of organisms, several organ systems that made up of several organ systems that make up an organism. An organism, it consists of several organ systems. If you take a human being as an example, in the human being different systems are there: respiratory system, digestive system, circulatory system, reproductive system, excretory system. So these are the different types of organ systems are present in human body. That's why one organism is made up of several organ systems. So here complexity of organ system also one of the properties of one of the property of organ living organisms. And third one, sensitivity or response to environment. So here living organisms are showing the response to external or internal stimuli that is received through various kinds of sense organs. So you know sense organs. Sense organs means eyes, nose, ears, tongue, okay, and skin. These are the sense organs. These sense organs are receives the stimulus. Okay, so based on the stimulus only we will produce response. So living organisms are only receive the stimulus and they will produce the response. That is also one of the property of living organisms. And then living organisms show response to environmental stimuli. Here physical or chemical or biological stimuli are there. So based on the stimuli it will produce different response. And you know, plants respond to external factors like light, water, temperature, other organisms, pollutants, etc. So for example, you know, sun rays are falling on the plant. So plant will respond to the sun rays. So generally plant will towards the sunlight. Okay, that is the response to the external stimuli. Next, growth. You know very well growth is the living property. Here what is growth? In this growth means increasing the mass or increasing the cell number. Okay, so cell division, you know cell division, one cell is divided into two cells in this manner. So cell division is very much helpful for the growth. Here cell number increasing and mass also increasing. And next, plant division occurs continuously, and animals certain age only. The growth takes place in animals only certain age. For example, 20 years will stop the growth, but in plants that is not happening. The continuous growth takes place in the plants. Next, division also enables to replace lost cells. If certain type of cells are lost in our body due to any injuries, the new cells will be replaced. So that is also by the cell division. That is also we can comes under the growth. Unicellular organisms division to increase in number. And growth, here growth means increases in the body mass. I already told increasing in the body mass and also number. Non-living organisms are not having the growth. For example, you may see some misconception like growth with the accumulation of material on the surface. Some kind of mountains or uh, boulders or sand mounds. So these are the accumulation of material on their surface. That is not a living material. That is the non-living material. So and finally you have to consider one point, that is growth cannot be taken as defining property of living organisms. So it cannot be taken as defining property. Non-living structures show growth in some respects. Some growth is happening in non-living structures also. For example, rusting of the iron. Here, due to the rusting of iron, iron weight will increase, iron structure will increase. That is not the living thing. That is also growth happened there, but it is not the living thing. So that's why we cannot take in the defining property of living organisms. Next, sixth one is metabolism. What is metabolism? Generally, all the organisms are made of chemicals. Okay, metabolism means the sum total of all the chemical reactions occurring in the bodies of organisms. What are the chemical reactions that takes place in our body? Those all chemical reactions we commonly call as metabolism. Here, you know, many chemicals are present in our body. Okay, so these chemicals are undergoing some changes. Okay, so here energy utilization and energy synthesis or energy creation, these two kind of things are happening in our body. That is, for example, the life process which build up or synthesis energy or anaerobic process. So energy storing process, for example photosynthesis, you know photosynthesis very well. Here energy storing takes place, that's why anabolic process. The life process which are involving expenditure of the energy are catabolic process. Here the energy is utilizing, that's why this is the catabolic process. What is metabolism? Metabolism is anabolic process and catabolic process are together, they constitute the metabolism. Here anabolism plus catabolism is equal to metabolism. Next one, reproduction. Reproduction. Here all the living organisms being produce their offsprings by the process of reproduction. Every living organism it produced by the reproduction only. Life comes only from the life, not from the non-living matter. Reproduction is an important process for continuing the lineage of a species. If one species is continuing their life means that is due to the reproduction only. And reproduction is two types, like sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Some organisms are involved in the sexual reproduction, some organisms are in asexual reproduction. For example, like fungi reproduce by the asexual spores, yeast and hydra by the budding nature. Okay, yeast and hydra they are involving in budding reproduction, and fungi are involved in asexual reproduction through the spores. And you see planaria, it is a flatworm. Here regeneration property is there. Due to the regeneration, here what is happening, if a body lost their part, that part it will become like a new organism. A portion of the organism, a part of the organism, it converted into a new organism. The whole organism will produce from a part of the organism. That is the regeneration property you can only see in the planaria. Okay, you may also see in some organisms like lizards will lose their tail sometimes, but uh, after some time it will gain the tail. That is also regeneration property. And next, unicellular organisms like bacteria, unicellular algae or amoeba, reproduction is synchronous with growth and increase in number of cells. Here number of cells are increasing by the reproduction. So generally in unicellular organisms you may see the uh, binary fission. Binary fission means one organism is divided into two organisms. So that's why they are increasing their number. And seventh one, homeostasis. In the homeostasis, maintenance of relatively constant internal conditions different from the surrounding environment is called homeostasis. For example, in our human body, the temperature will be constant always, except in feverish conditions. Every time our body temperature will remain constant. This is called homeostasis. So the internal body environment is maintaining constant conditions, that is called homeostasis. In the dynamic constancy of the internal environment of an organism with in a range that the cells can tolerate. So how much of temperature or pressure that can tolerate, that is maintaining in the homeostasis. Living organisms are maintained constant internal environment by the various physiological adaptations. Okay, we have certain physiological adaptations, based on that only we are maintaining the constant internal environment. And eighth one, evolution. Life is not static, it will continuously changing. Okay, so living organisms are changing based on the time period. Okay, it constantly changes from simple to more complex forms. Variations in the organisms arise through mutations or gene recombinations. So variations, diversity is nothing but the variation. Okay, these variations are happening by the mutations or gene recombinations. So you may see here, Charles Darwin is a uh, one of the famous scientists. He proposed one theory, that is natural selection theory. What it states, the living beings accumulate their beneficial variations over a period of time and tend to evolve gradually into new types of organisms. So speciation, that is takes place by the mutations or gene recombinations. So here organisms are changing gradually. For example, human beings are evolved from the uh, primates, like monkey like organisms. Okay, after surviving the struggle of existence, here struggle for existence is one of the uh, nature principle. Here nature will select only surviving organisms who is having more strength, that will be survive in the nature. The remaining will be vanish from the nature. Okay, that is we may see in the evolution. So living organisms only evolve, that is a living organism property. And next, ninth one, senescence or mortality. Every living beings are born, grow, mature forms and undergoing aging process and finally die. Every living organism will finally die. Okay, the death is compulsory for living organism. The process of aging is called senescence. Here the aging is happening, that is called senescence. The senescence we may see in plants and also in animals. Okay, it leads to death or mortality. Mortality is it is very much common in living organisms. So living organisms only, they will mortal. And next, nature, scope and meaning of zoology. Generally, in the lower classes, like in 10th class, you have studied biology. This biology in further, in higher sections, like in intermediate or in degree level, it is classified like three things: botany, zoology, microbiology. In the botany, you have studied about the plants, and in zoology you studied about animals. In microbiology you studied about microorganisms. So this is a zoology class. That's why in first year zoology, uh, you have studied about in lower organisms. In the second year, in higher organisms, you will study in the, mostly in human being topics are there in second year. Okay, first, what is zoology you have to know. Zoology, this term is having two, this zoology is derived from the two words, that is June and logos. June means animal, logos means knowledge or study. Study of animals, that we call as zoology. Okay, that is also called animal science. It is a part of biological science which deals the study of various aspects of the animals, starting from sponges to mammals. From lower animals to higher animals, we will deal all the aspects about the animals, that we will deal in the zoology. Zoology is a study as a pure science, and zoology is having a lot of applications, like biotechnology, microbiology and bioinformatics. Those applied science are also there, but zoology is a pure science. It has scope in agriculture, aquaculture, animal husbandry, human health, diseases, veterinary science, apiculture, sericulture, pharmacology, and animal breeding. So, lot of scope is there in the zoology. So, various fields are related to the zoology. What are the fields I have mentioned here? Agriculture and animal husbandry, aquaculture, human health, diseases, Veterinary science that is related to the mostly animals. And apiculture means here honeybees rearing, and sericulture, silkworms rearing, and pharmacology, that is about preparation of medicines. Okay. And animal breeding, that is about growing and producing of animals, that is animal breeding. So these are the large scope having zoology we are studying. So uh, tomorrow we'll come with new topic. Okay. Thank you for this session.